You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're going to talk about the New England Patriots. I got two different things involving the Patriots. One is going to sound very familiar to a couple of, about 10 years ago, maybe a decade ago? Deflategate. Yeah, we may have a Deflategate Part 2 situation going on in New England after the game against the Chiefs. But before we get to that, we've got an actual charge against two men in connection to the death of the Patriots fan that lost his life way back in September during the Dolphins game. And these guys were Dolphins fans, at least one of them was, that of course got into the fight with the guy. The guy got hit. The guy died. It was ruled that the actual hit, according to, I believe, the medical examination, the medical examiner came out and said that the death wasn't related to the hit. Now, I'm going to be real. I've always been kind of skeptical of that because I'm like, well, that's awfully convenient that one had nothing to do with the other. But maybe it didn't. We don't know. But nonetheless, these guys have been charged now. This is ESPN. Two Rhode Island men have been charged with assault and battery and disorderly conduct by Foxborough police in connection with the death at a New England Patriots game. John Vera, 59, and Justin Mitchell, both of Warwick, Rhode Island, were charged with assault and battery and disorderly conduct earlier this month after investigators said they punched the 53-year-old Dale Mooney of Newmarket, New Hampshire. Now, I know Dale Mooney was a lifelong Patriots fan, and this got a bunch of publicity back in September when it first happened, and the NFL has had a breakout of fights at games all over the league. Mooney was struck during an altercation at September 17th game, which ended in a 24-17 win by the Dolphins. Investigators said Mooney was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. Criminal complaints filed this month said Vieira and Mitchell, quote, did assault and beat Dale Mooney. A lawyer for Mitchell did not immediately return a phone call. Court records didn't indicate an attorney for Vieira. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner provided preliminary indications that did not suggest traumatic injury, but did identify a medical issue, according to the district attorney's office. The cause and manner of the death were undetermined at the time, pending further testing. Final determinations, this is where it gets interesting. Final determinations delivered to Norfolk District Attorney's Office ruled the manner of death a homicide. Yikes. The cause of death has been ruled as, quote, probable cardiac dysrhythmia in a person with severe hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease during a physical altercation. I'm certainly not a medical doctor, so it sounds like heart problems and a physical confrontation put together was a bad elixir there. The review of the available evidence, including the autopsy results and multiple angles of video capturing the incident, failed to establish a basis for criminal prosecution of charges related to homicide in Mooney's death. Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey said in a statement Thursday, quote, we thank the members of the public who made their private videos of the altercation available for our review and the investigators at Foxborough Police Department for their help in establishing a clear picture of the tragic events. Vieira is scheduled for a court appearance January 19, Mitchell January 26. Gillette Stadium officials said at the time that they were, quote, heartbroken by the death of Mooney, who said that he was a lifelong Patriots fan, a 30-year ticket holder, and I know it was something that Robert Kraft, I believe, if I remember correctly, they put out a statement at the time because that guy had been coming to Patriots games forever. Definitely a tragic situation. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes. Now, it sounds like the prosecutor is just coming out and saying we didn't have enough to flat call this a homicide, which is probably where the assault and battery charge is coming from. They said, you know what, we've got enough, we can charge him with something less, but we don't know that we can get the guy on homicide, which they do that in the legal system all the time. So it's going to be worth watching. Now, Deflategate Part 2, and I kid you not, balls were not properly inflated for the game versus the Patriots and the Chiefs in the first half of the game. And it wasn't the actual game balls used by the offense and defense. It was during special teams and the kicking unit. But nonetheless, it was still deflated. Call it Deflategate Part 2. This is MassLive.com. Following their loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, Patriots special teamers were visibly upset in the locker room on Sunday due to an error by the officiating staff. So, are they going to try to say this was the NFL doing this? I don't know how this is going to work. According to multiple reports, the footballs that are meant for each team's kicking units were underinflated by 2 pounds. After team complaints, officials took the K-balls into the locker room at halftime, where they were discovered to weigh 11 psi instead of the legal limit of 13.5. Per sources, the underinflated footballs didn't travel as well in the Foxborough weather on Sunday, and sources indicated that's why Patriots kicker Chad Ryland and Chiefs kicker Harrison Buckner missed field goals in the first half. Oh, that's interesting. Sources noted that the footballs traveled further in the second half once inflated to a proper 13.5 psi. You know what nobody's bringing up here? Point spreads, gambling. I'm just putting that out there. That's very interesting. With all the fire around the NFL being rigged, this doesn't look so great all of a sudden. And it's not from the standpoint of teams are cheating. What happened here exactly? Quote, they were all sitting around at 11 psi. The threshold is usually 13.5. A source told Mass Live, quote, the Patriots told the refs they were a little underinflated or they felt that way at halftime. They confirmed and obviously put air in them. Yeah, but right above it blatantly tells you that sounds like 6 missing points, at least in theory. The Patriots sideline noticed something was amiss when Harrison Buckner's opening kickoff landed at the 3-yard line, allowing for Jalen Reagor to return on a mild December day in Foxborough. This season, Buckner has hit 87.1% of kickoffs for touchbacks. As the half went on, the team noticed that trajectory and hang time of kickoffs, punts were lower than usual. So that tells you right there the Patriots are the one that caught this. Another source noted that the kicking balls were unusually soft to touch. With each kick, punt, and kickoff attempt, it felt like something was off, and it appeared to impact the team. For Buckner, the officiating error may have led to the Chiefs kicker missing his first field goal of the season. Wow, he was perfect. The veteran came into Sunday's game hitting 23 of 23, but then missed a 39-yard attempt wide right at 9:56 in the first quarter. On the next series, Ryland missed a 41-yard attempt wide left with 3:40 in the first quarter. A source said the Patriots' rookie's mechanics were good on the attempt, but the flight of the ball was off. The Patriots and Chiefs didn't notice there was a problem until kickoff because teams are not allowed to work with the kicking balls during their pregame warm-ups in accordance with NFL rules. According to the rule book, each team has supplied 12 primary and 12 backup balls available for testing no later than 2 hours and 15 minutes before the start of the game. The legal limit remains 12.5 and 13.5 pounds per square inch. For all games, 6 new footballs are still in the box, opened in the officials' locker room 2 hours, 45 minutes before the game, and those balls are marked by the manufacturer and used exclusively for the game. Officials are supposed to weigh the balls before the opening kickoffs. Quote, I don't know at this point. It was missed, one source said. I don't think they were leaking. It was a situation, and it got mitigated in the second half. Okay. So it sounds like the officials were supposed to have control of these balls and how much they weighed. So, again, I think this looks bad. It's funny, but nobody has brought up gambling, betting, rigging, none of that in conjunction with any of this. But it obviously had an issue with points. It caused a potential issue with points being scored. I believe they once called that point shaving. In the second half, after the footballs were inflated to 13.5 pounds, Buckner made 2 field goals, 29 and 54 yards out. It also seemed to make a difference with kickoffs and punts. Wow. This is going to potentially take on another life of its own. Because, again, nobody's bringing up the gambling, betting aspect of this, and we've talked about this a lot. There's a lot of fire around a large portion of NFL fans believing the NFL could potentially be rigged, and the NFL is in bed with gambling everywhere, right? I mean, every time you look up, it's FanDuel, it's DraftKings, it's BetMGM, it's all these different betting seasons, it's all these different places. And Dean Blandino, I did a video on this on Black and White Sports 2. Dean Blandino, the former head of officiating, just come out and said and admitted NFL reps have been approached with trying to change the outcome or influence the outcome of games. And now these balls were conveniently not flated enough. That obviously has a direct impact on points that could be scored in the game. Nobody's bringing this up to my knowledge. They should, because this looks really fishy for that aspect and that aspect alone. So I'm just putting that out there right now. I'm calling it. So tell me what you think. It does not look like, before people try to hang the Patriots with this or the Chiefs with this, it does not look like the teams were the ones that influenced this. It looks like it was something to do with NFL officials, potentially, just from what I'm reading here and how I'm deducing it. All right? Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.